Today we're going to take a look at system maintenance in Cherwell. Now there may be an occasion when you want to try to force the rebuilding of indexes in Cherwell. Normally SQL Server takes care of that on its own schedule basis, but perhaps you just imported a whole bunch of new customers and SQL hasn't caught up yet and you want to make sure that you see all of those, but when you do a search they're not there. So sometimes you can force the rebuilding of the SQL indexes to see those new imports. So if we go into the admin tool, go to Database, System Maintenance, you'll see there is a section for rebuilding not only the full text search catalog, which is normally what SQL takes care of, but we can also rebuild the business object indexes. So that's not the full text, that's the indexes between the objects within Cherwell. So not only can we do them all, if I put a check here, but I can select which individual objects I want to rebuild the indexes on. So I could clear them all and then maybe just choose one or two of those, or I could select them all, whatever works for you. You can rebuild those indexes as well. You can rebuild the system table indexes within Cherwell. You could shrink the SQL event log, refresh your queue status, and removed unused user accounts. So let's take a look at these individually. I talked about what rebuilding the full text search catalog is. SQL normally does that, but you can force that. Rebuilding the business object indexes, those are the indexes between the objects within Cherwell. Rebuilding the system table indexes. Rebuilding the queue, that updates the queue status data. And removing the unuser accounts. That actually clears up any obsolete authorization data. So occasionally you may remove a user from Cherwell, but they still appear in certain places. Maybe they appear in Teams. You can go ahead and run this particular system maintenance and that should clear up that issue. Now not only can you run this manually, but you could also schedule it. Now you could schedule this very easily within the scheduler in Cherwell. So if I go to scheduling, edit the schedule, add a new row, one of my choices there under the action is database maintenance. And I have all the same choices there that I had if I ran them manually. But you can also run these from the command line. So let me bring up Notepad that I have here, my Notepad++. So this is the format that you would type out that command to run from the command line. So trebuchet.admin.exe/c, put your connection name there, put the user ID that you would log into Cherwell with. Now this is a Cherwell internal ID, not a SQL ID, and that password. So as an example below here, I'd be connecting to my common Cherwell connection using Henry, the built-in Cherwell user, the word password, and then I want to rebuild the full text catalog and refresh the queue status. So that would do those two things at one time. So I can run this manually, I can run it from the command line, or I could actually schedule it. So maybe we run system maintenance and then we have a ZAR file created. So that would be a scheduled job with two steps. Run the maintenance and then spit that ZAR out for us just so we have it kind of as a backup for ourselves. So that's how we would run system maintenance from within Cherwell.